Greetings, family, and welcome to Curb the Runway Fashion and Quarantine Weekly Web Series. The phenomenal ladies of Curb the Runway have given the men a chance to grab the reins of their channel and do some weekly web advice and series and talk and all those wonderful good things that make us the men that we are. I am joined today by some phenomenal brothers. Let me first say that my name is Frederick Delahoussaye. I am the Chief Creative Officer at the Ashe Cultural Arts Center down in New Orleans, Louisiana. And with us today on this conversation is my dear brother, who is not only a phenomenal artist, but he gives as much to the city as he receives. You know him, you love him. One of the most phenomenal brothers with a paintbrush, Mr. Terrance Osborne is here. Greetings, brother. How are you?
Yes, sir. Hollywood. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty fly, bro. Feeling pretty fly. Happy to be here with you, man. I want to bring in our next guest, this young brother. What can I say about him, man? He adds to the soundscape of our city, to the soundtrack of our existence. I'll put that out there. This young brother who is a phenomenal father as well, and a DJ known all around New Orleans and around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Chris Stylez is with us.
Peace, y'all. It's good to be here.
There it is, man. And also joining us today, the brother behind the scenes. He is an Emmy Award winner. He is owner of JointChiefz production. This brother does it all and does it well. He's a New Orleans native, but he's joining us from ATL right now, man. Y'all give it up for brother Khalif. Khalif, come on in, brother.
What's up now? How y'all doing? It's great to be with you guys today.
We want to talk about your best Father's Day memory, right? What is your best Father's Day memory? So we'll start with that before we jump off into the conversation. Chris Stylez, why don't you tell us your best Father's Day memory, brother?
My best Father's Day memory was my first one. And it was a goal of mine, of course, to be a dad, and it was an honor to be a dad when my first child was born. It added so much to that experience of that first year of having a child, especially having a daughter. Once I found out I was having a girl, it was the best. It was the best Father's Day before my second child was born, and then that was my next best Father's Day. So yeah, that first one was the most favorite.
I think we all have girls on this call, huh? Terrance, you're a father of a girl as well, right?
Yeah, my last one is a girl. You know, two boys, 26, 19, and then a girl who's 17. But you know, it's interesting. I've been one of those fathers who have discouraged my kids and my family from doing Father's Day stuff. Just because, like, like as a father, you're like, oh no, yeah, don't celebrate me. I don't need that. I'm good. I take care of everything, and like that whole thing. So I think I've sort of suppressed my Father's Days, but now, probably moving into my 40s, I'm 45 now. I realized that was not a good idea. Because people want to celebrate, your kids and your wife, they want to celebrate you for your Father's Day. So now it's just like my best Father's Days are my most recent ones where they're all around, and I'm happy and I enjoy the time that they're there. And however they want to celebrate me as a father, I take it. So it's I think in general my best Father's Days are my most recent ones.
Mother's Day got these 2-3 aisles of cards and they got balloons up everywhere. And then Father's Day we got a little corner, at the drugstore that's like, oh, here's a few gifts, or somebody giving you a tie, or they give you like some barbecue equipment, so you got to go work and feed everybody.
Right.
So, what's your good memories, brother? Some of the gifts you've gotten around Father's Day.
For me, it really comes down to how much quiet time I have, right? I want everybody out the house, at least for an hour or two on Father's Day. I don't want to see nobody. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want no phone calls. I'm not even watching television. I'm be pulling one of Terrance's wife's numbers. I'm be meditating for the first 2 hours of Father's Day. 9 times out of 10, I got to cook for Father's Day. So, as long as they aren't cooking the food, I'm good. No disrespect.
I have a friend. I have a friend who actually bought for his for Mother's Day. He bought his wife a washing machine. He slept on the sofa. What? Why would you do that?
Look, the rule.
Look. She's like, she brought me a hammer.
The rules are not two-way. You can't buy them appliances. You can buy us appliances because we don't care. You got to get them roses. You got to get them cards. You got to get them shoes, a dress, a gift card to DSW.
Yep.
This is a Father's Day edition, if folks haven't gotten the word about that. And we're also going to talk a little bit about Father's Day and fashion in quarantine. How many of you all have taken on this practice of being a business up top, but party down low?
Luckily, I haven't had.
What are you DJing, Chris? What are you DJing? What are you DJing in? Are you in pajamas most of the time? Let's be real.
Sometimes, if I manage to get my shower out the way and I'm comfortable enough, I will switch the t-shirt into something that's a little more favorable than what I'm gonna sleep in. A lot of times I make a point in putting on a shirt that one of my friends have made or I've bought from a local retailer, like Io's Know-Yo Designs and Jason Cav. J Cav is what he's known as on Facebook. His 504 Leans and Patois 504. I've made a point in putting on their shirts or repping a cause that is relevant to the time. So I had a Black Lives Matter shirt on a couple of weekends ago when the George Floyd stuff started. If it's nothing else, then it's just I like certain T-shirts with certain types of designs and words and phrases on them, so I'm going to wear that because it's an expression of me. For work, luckily, I don't really have to be on camera. We don't do those types of things. So it's whatever I decide to grab that's first at the top of the drawer and put that on.
At the gallery, I have a collar shirt on. I might even have a jacket on. But since I've been at home, it's like all T-shirts. my wife likes me in T-shirts. All right, cool. I'm good with that.
In your business, Khalif, though, how important is presentation when you're dealing with some of these celebrity types and all this kind of stuff?
Well, being behind the scenes, I don't visit a collared shirt that often. I mean, I might wear a tie to a funeral, and that's about it. Most of the time I'm wearing T-shirts, jeans, and on these calls, I'm in my gym shorts because my gym is right next door to my studio. So when I leave here, I go lift weights. But most of my shirts, well, actually all of my T-shirts are my own T-shirts. So that's my fashion. Leaf Boy Fresh, I got Yin Yangin', I got Creamy Chocolate Thunder, and those are all my brand.
Do you feel like, your personal style is, your brand?
I managed to finally make my own design and put it on a shirt so that I could express my brand further than I had in the past. What I've noticed with a lot of other DJs, and one of my favorites in particular, DJ Jeff, he's got shirts that all quote lyrics from his time with the Fresh Prince, and then other ways around that. And most recently, he opened up a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air shop where you could get Fresh Prince of Bel-Air themed stuff, and I think that's cool. I would imagine that people who really believe in themselves and believe in their style would express their brand even more and wear it on a regular basis, right? So Know-Yo does, Io does with Know-Yo, and the other gentlemen that I mentioned earlier, they would do the same thing. If Terrance had his designs on a shirt, I'd wear that too. And I'm sure he would as well.
Yeah, man. I get asked that question all the time. Why don't you put your artwork on T-shirts? Like people are like, yeah, I would wear them. And the truth is, I don't want to get into having to sell T-shirts that are large, medium, or small, and then you got to return it because it didn't fit right, and like all that's too much for me. So I never really got into that. It's like I just rather sell a painting and then wear a shirt that has something dealing with New Orleans on it. That's my go-to. Io shirts, Dirty Coast, Flirty Girl. As long as it has some, like I got a Houdat on right now, so as long as it has New Orleans on it, I'm rocking it.
So my Instagram handle, my Twitter handle, all that is Refined Hoodlum, right? Because I come from I'm St. Bernard Project hard head, 7 Ward all day. But at the same point in time, we sitting in some of these boardrooms and some of these different places that we have to be inside of the cultural sector or inside of the city sector or what have you. We got to turn off the hood. A lot of people speak on code switching and all that kind of stuff, but inside of your style, do you feel like, you're able to seamlessly go from, like Khalif talked about, from the, if he has to go from the collar shirt to the T-shirt, he can do it seamlessly because his space is right next to his workplace. But inside of our, Chris, how often do you find yourself having to, go into these meetings around record producing or what have you, when you might have to get a little clean? Or do you feel comfortable enough in this day and age to rocking an IO shirt in them boardrooms too?
When it comes to my own setup, though, if I am going to a business meeting around DJing, I will be a little more comfortable. And I find that I'm in full control of that as it is. So my dress code is my dress code. But I'm not going to be sloppy by no means. If that means I will put a blazer on with a T-shirt and it's appropriate, I'm fine with that. If it's going to be a nice jacket and some jeans, I'm fine with that too. If it has to be a button-down scenario, then that's cool. I work it where I understand my clientele, where I need to meet my clientele, and I think that's important.
It sometimes, like, I'm finding that most times it doesn't matter in a way. Initially, when they see you, everybody does it. When you see a person, you have a certain judgment about what they have on and who they are based on how they look. Yeah. But after talking to a person for a little bit, that goes away. You start to see that person. So what I realize is, if I show up a little prepped or dressy, it doesn't look, or what I get from the meeting, how successful I am, doesn't change depending on what I have on. So I'm doing it less. I'm wearing more of what I want to wear now than what I used to. I used to be afraid of it. I had to dress up, but now it's like I'm a little more comfortable with what I want to wear.
Terrance, can I ask you a question?
Go.
2 parts. So, do you think that your ability to be an entrepreneur plays into that? And the second part of that is, do you feel like your influence as an artist plays into it as well?
Yeah, definitely that. First off, my influence as an artist, because I wanted this job with Harris Casino. They called me in to do this poster and a piece for them. I actually went into that meeting unprepared, what I consider visually unprepared. I had on sandals, a T-shirt, and something, and I don't know, pants or shorts or whatever. And I got the job, and the lady commented. She was like, "I like how you came here. You're just so casual with your sandals on." I mean, it was at that time, it was embarrassing to me, and I didn't tell her that I was embarrassed by it. But it helped that I was an artist, because I could write that off as that. So yeah, absolutely right. but also the fact that I'm an entrepreneur. I basically call the shots with what I'm gonna do. So I go after what I want. There's nobody to answer to necessarily. That I would agree with that plays a role in it. Yeah. Jay-Z says he didn't change. He does not change anything, like across the board. If he's wearing a hoodie and some jeans, I don't know if that's his outfit, but you know what I'm saying. He doesn't change wherever he goes. He keeps the same demeanor. Yeah. He keeps the same look and everything. So I'm not saying that's what I want to do, but I think ultimately, the less you worry about people judging you, the more fashionable you can be for yourself.
For me, it's part of the energy of the work that I do, that if I'm gonna be uncomfortable, it's gonna show in my performance, and I can't have that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah, definitely.
You gotta trust me to look fly, and I gotta trust everything else that I'm bringing to the table to play out like I want it to, so that the night goes the way I envision it. And oftentimes there are going to be a comfortable pair of shoes on. They're going to be tennis shoes. The most dressiest it's been has been a pair of the Cole Haans that fit like tennis and they're soft at the bottom, but they look nice still. Or I've got some Adidas with some of the cloud foam in there, and they just look nice in a black jacket and a white shirt and whatever color bow tie I want to go with it. But like I said earlier, I'm in full control of that, and I don't need anybody worried about how I'm dressed behind the table. You go dance. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to.
Yeah. Comfortability does do something to your performance. I don't know, Terrance, you might better speak to this, and Khalif too. If I'm not comfortable, I'm probably not going to perform well. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, I don't know if y'all can speak to that, but that's definitely something.
Well, yeah, I to speak to Terrance, like, when I turned 40, I started to realize how much I really didn't care about how I looked. Even before I was 40, I think being an artist, you really don't care about how you look. You really care more about what you're producing, the product that you know what I mean? Like that's why most artists aren't shaving most of the time. We don't have time to shave. For Terrance is worried about getting stuff on the canvas. DJ's worried about getting his mix right. You worried about getting your lines right. You know what I mean? You got to get the poetry right. So it's like we don't really have time for all this grooming and suiting up and that kind of thing. For me, as long as my clothes aren't dirty, they match, and I'm not funky, I'm good to go.
Yeah. And you know what too? Khalif, right, man. I used to keep my face like completely shaved. Now I'm not a hairy dude. I don't grow a lot, but
right.
I used to make sure it stayed shaved. Now I keep a little scrub because like that's
sophistication.
It's in fashion, and it's easier.
Right.
And even like my suits and all, I try to find suits and that are stretchy. That what do you call that? It gives a little bit. There's something they call it. It's like this. Yeah, it's an athletic fit, but it has like this elastic sort of.
Yeah.
It has give. So all my clothes that I'm looking for, they have give, and they also are made of a material that will last in the washing machine. They're easy, but they still hold up real well. So I'm looking. I don't care what the brand is anymore. I'm looking for something that when I wash it, I know it's going to stand up. Plus, it's comfortable. It has give to it. So, I think that's important. That's for an artist, and that makes it easy. Like what you're saying, Khalif. Because you don't want to care about that. You want to be comfortable.
Exactly. Yeah. For me, that's the primary thing for me. I just want to be comfortable. I want to smell good all the time. Smell good. And I want to deliver the product I'm being paid to deliver.
I've been forced to wear, certain items because of the sponsor or whatever. And those are never the best shows, because I'm, constrained rather by what is asked to be delivered, even though I'm not in my best, space. But go ahead, Chris. I saw you about to make a comment.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen you in a shirt and tie at anything.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think so. That's not a negative because I'm sure you whip it anyway. But I don't think I've ever, at least when you and I have done stuff, I know I've seen you in a blazer, but I've never seen you in a shirt and tie.
Yeah, man, that's so don't give me no tie for Father's Day if y'all listening.